Now, you can just cut out the paper bits and use that as the shadow puppet instead of transferring it to cardboard. But because the paper is so see-through, it doesn't really work quite as well as cardboard. So you really want to try and use something that's thicker than paper. Almost done. Now, a little hint to anybody is that all of my patterns, my shadow puppet patterns, use the same colours for all the instructions. So if you're cutting out something of mine, you always start with cutting out along the black lines and then cutting out the red lines or pink lines, depending on what your printer's like. They come out pink. And then you join the puppet together using the green dots. So it all kind of makes sense. Okay, one more bit to cut out and then we can move on to the next step. Do the tiny bit on the tail. Okay, so we have two pieces. I don't know if you can see that. And the next step is to transfer it to cardboard. So I'll just check. Are there any questions so far? Yes, I'm very fast with the knife. I think I'm Speedy Gonzales. Okay. So, take your cardboard and let's see. Try not to waste my cardboard here. And you put it on the piece of cardboard. A little trick I like to do is take some masking tape and just tape it temporarily to the cardboard, which makes it easier to transfer over. So you want to draw the outline that is around the hard black lines. And then you want to trace in all those gaps that we just did. So if you use masking tape, be careful not to rip the cardboard, as I just did. Not going to be noticeable, but that's okay. So I've just traced the outline. Now I'm going to trace in all those little pink things that we just cut out. There you go. So that bit's done. Now I trace the other section. And again, you don't have to be precise, because once you cut out the puppet, you can tidy it up with some scissors. So just tracing all the gaps. Now, because I haven't done the holes for these tiny pink dots on the nose, I don't have to trace them, and I'll show you how to do them later when we get to it. So there we go. So now we can remove it. I'm not sure if you can see the tracings because I've done it in pencil. But anyway, they're all traced out. And the next step is to cut the puppet out from the cardboard. Gigantic. Cool. So, keep cutting. Something to remember, and I'm sure this has been discussed before somewhere by somebody at some point in time, is that it's a good idea to use scissors, one pair of scissors for paper and one pair of scissors for fabric, because cardboard and paper dull the blades. So I'm just going to keep going with my scalpel because it's easier for you guys to see. So we basically do exactly the same thing as before. We cut out along the lines and then cut out all those pink areas again. For more complicated puppets, this can get really boring or really annoying. Because you're basically doing exactly what you did before, only with cardboard. For the outlines on the cardboard, I find that using scissors is easier, and it gives you I don't know, more control, I think. But for the finer details, I always use a scalpel.